Yeah, it's been an absolutely record quarter, 2 quarters, as you say, almost 14 billion raised in the US and about 5 billion raised in Europe. Predictably, a lot of the money is going into biopharma, particularly companies pivoting towards COVID-19 vaccine or treatment development as well. But encouragingly, I think the subsector that we call diagnostics and tools, which also includes COVID-19 companies involved in testing and antibody testing, as you heard Severin saying as well, that's seen a massive increase in Europe to over 600 million alone for the first half of the year, which outstrips all of 2019 and 2018 as well.
And how are valuations comparing to history? Are we seeing healthcare companies benefit from this renewed interest in the sector?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the sort of pre-money IPO valuations, it has been a strong year for public listings as well. Pre-money IPO valuations are really up again on previous years, or holding steady at worst as well. And just as important as that, actually, you've seen post-IPO performance at record levels. Median, I think, gains of the class of the vintage of 2020 has been about 80% up, which is just a phenomenal performance as well, given the pre-money valuations as well.
One of the themes that we've been discussing all morning, we discussed this with Severin Svan, the CEO of Roche, is the pullback we've seen in activity in other parts of the healthcare market. Given the closure of hospitals and infusion centers, we're seeing a real decline in activity for non-COVID related treatments. In your world and venture-backed healthcare, are these investments in COVID-19 related companies coming at the expense of investment in other companies that are looking at other therapies in other parts of the healthcare market that are perhaps even more crucial when it comes to the long-term outlook for people?
Yeah, so I think we've seen a couple of trends, and you're right. I mean, we work with so many of these companies at the forefront of innovation. We did expect to see a bit of a decline in the sort of medical device industry, but actually it's held up and been very resilient. You heard Severin say that as hospitals have opened up, they've been able to sort of reboot their business. And we've seen the same in that area as well. Remember also that a lot of our companies are not just single product, single technology companies as well. A lot of these early stage, companies are built with platforms that can pivot towards particular, treatments or indications as well. And we've seen that, particularly in diagnostics, as I said, with a lot of companies trying to develop, antibody testing kits and so on.
Right, so diversity is proving to be an advantage here. And one of the other key themes that has emerged here is the major collaboration that we're seeing now between private companies, major academic institutions, and governments all around the world. And in many cases, that funding that companies are receiving from governments is enabling them to proceed with research at an accelerated pace and do it at cost. How are these collaborations affecting your part of the healthcare market?
Well, they're actually benefiting it. And if I just take one example, we heard a lot about the AstraZeneca, research this week. The technology that AstraZeneca are using was co-invented by, a small Oxford company, venture-backed. And you see the same story. Moderna is now a larger listed company, but when it was founded, it was a small, venture-backed company, admittedly with a lot of venture funding. And you see that pattern everywhere, actually. Large pharma, established biotech partnering with smaller, research institutions and venture-backed companies like our clients to propel these discoveries forward. And obviously, governments are key to that as well in providing, some of the funding. You have Project Warp Speed in the US, for example, that some collaborations have been a part of. So it is a critical, this kind of collaboration is absolutely critical to moving these ideas forward at pace.
Nooman, very quickly, the outlook for the IPO pipeline for the rest of the year, what's it look like?
It's looking pretty strong, actually. There's no shortage of capital out there. As you know, the interest rate environment supports investment into risk, which benefits our clients fantastically. So we're very positive.